I won't say Shvachim. He's Yedua. No one has to say Shvachim. Avi. The Gemara on you. I don't want to use mic. The Gemara on Yud Zayin at Beis says, "Eishes achiv shelo haya be'olamo heichak siva." Says the Gemara, Amar of Yehuda Amar Rav Amar Kra, Ki yeshu achim yachtav shai salam yeshiva achas be'olam. Prat leishes achiv shelo haya be'olamo. Asks Tosfos, Why does the Gemara say I need a pasuk, special gzeras hakasuv, to tell me that Eishes Ach Shelo Haya Be'olamo is not in the parsha of Yibum, it's an erva? Meaning that derech eder chinom tells me that a person who's not, who once a woman already had a heter to go ahead and marry, Adam Minashuk, she was already pater from the mitzvah of Yibum, so therefore I never bring back or I never create a new zika on a woman who already had that heter. That would be a violation of the Archenom. The Torah's rules are just, are kind, and to bring back a zika, to make her now zakuk, to marry the yavam, would be a violation of derech Archenom. The Chor, it's a pelagadol. One doesn't need to be a Rishon to understand that Tosos is coming on Yizayim Beis. The Mishnah on the previous Amud Yizayim Aleph states that the case of Eishes Ach Shelo Haya Be'olamo is stated in the case of three brothers, Reuven, Shimon, and Levi, where Reuven dies and she falls to Shimon, who is Be'olamo, and then after that Levi is born and she's Eishes Ach Shelo Haya Be'olamo to Levi. And in that case, in that kind of situation, she never had a heter to marry Adam min Ashuk. Why? Because she was still zakuk to Shimon, who was Be'olamo. So to now go ahead and say that she should still be zakuk to Levi, who was not Be'olamo, would not be a violation of derech Darchenoam. Why? Because she was still zakuk to Shimon. So why does Tosos go? Number one, why does Tosos ask the question of Tebu Klei Mishum derech Darchenoam? I don't need a pasuk. Avad, I need a pasuk in a case where there is another brother in the world, Shimon. Furthermore, Tosos goes ahead and answers. What's Tosos' answer? Tosos answers, I need a pasuk of Ki yeshu achim yachtav b'chiyai gavna dechamosa muberes, that she has to wait anyways for her mother-in-law to see if that child is going to be a zach or an akeva. Therefore, she has to wait anyways to make her wait. So to make her wait a little longer, wouldn't it be a violation of derech darcheno? So number one, why is Tosos bothered by his question at all? He's going right after the Mishnah, and the Mishnah's case is a case of a brother where there's a brother who is Be'olam, who she is zakuk to. And number two, why doesn't Tosos give that answer? Furthermore, all the Rishonim, the Ramban, the Rashba, the Rizvah, Tosos, the Rosh, and Tosos, Rabbeinu Peretz, all give that answer, in addition to Tosos' answer of Chamos U'Meberes, which is a Beferish Yerushalmi. But all the Rishonim go ahead and give the answer of a case where she's not Idchia Mihai Beis Lagamre, meaning that she's not able to go, she doesn't have a heter to marry Adam min Ashuk. Why? Because she's still zakuk to a brother, Shimon, who was Be'olamo. So number one, why does Tosos ask the question? And why does he not give it as an answer? And third, why does Tosos feel that the answer is not good when all the other Rishonim feel that it is a good answer? Rabbi Kiveger on the daf, Mikoach Svaros, who doesn't quote any of the Rishonim, goes ahead and posits and says this could be a good answer. He says the answer the Rishonim say in the case where there is a Shimon, in the case where there is an Ach Shehaya Be'olamo, in which case it wouldn't be a violation of Darchenoam to make her wait. And ask Rabbi Kiveger, why doesn't Tosos give that answer? Says Rabbi Kiveger that Tosos is going L'Shitasam. Tosos on Daf Beis Amud Aleph, Dibur Maschil Achos Isha, when discussing the differences between Achos Isha and Nida. So said Tosos on Daf Beis Amud Aleph, V'od nira lechalek de'achos Isha afal pi shemeso ishto acharichen shuv lo tizakek liyibum kevan sheniftara sho'achas mishum shenemar derech darcheno. Continues Tosfos. Ve'afilu heicha de lo midchia mehai beiso legamri kigon sheyesh achim acherim asur lezeh shemeso isho. So therefore Tosfos says, even in a case where there is another brother in the world, meaning Tosfos will understand that there is still a parsha of Darchei Noam, in which case Tosfos said, okay, even though you're right, there is still a Shimon in the world, and therefore she still never had a heter to marry Adam min Ashuk because she was still zakuk to Shimon. Still, Tosfos says, I can still say it'd be a violation of Darchei Noam. That's Rabbi Akiva Eiger's husband. Asks Rav Moshe Fine, seems bothered by why exactly, again, why Tosfos doesn't want to go with that answer. Why doesn't Tosfos answer the answer all the other Rishonim feel is an adequate answer? And says Rav Moshe Feinstein, Ve'ein lomar, without quoting Rabbi Akiva Eiger, Ve'ein lomar, and don't tell me that Tosfos is going l'shitasam. On Daf Beis, like we just stated, that Tosfos holds that even when I don't have Darchei Noam, I'll still say Nesra. Why, says Rav Moshe? There's a chiluk. There's a chiluk between our case of Eishes Ach Shelo Haya Be'olamo and the case of Achos Isha that Tosfos on Daf Beis Amud Aleph is discussing. In the case of Eishes Ach Shelo, in the case of Achos Isha, so it makes sense to say Nesra. Why? I can say that it's shaykh a parsha of Isser on someone who's in this world. I can say that since when she fell, so she fell to a person who was married to her sister, meaning there was a case of Achos Isha. So to that brother, she was Asur. Because the person was in the world to say it's a parsha, the person was in the world to say she's Asur to him. Ma'ashekin, says Rav Moshe, and later on I found this was also Rav Chaim, that says Rav Moshe that but Masheke, when it comes to Eishes Ach Shelo Be'olamo, so the brother Levi wasn't in the world yet to say Parsha of Isser. I can't say she's Asur to Levi because Levi wasn't here. When it comes to Achos Isha, so Shimon's here. So I can say so she's Asur to Shimon because of Achos Isha. But in Eishes Ach Shelo Be'olamo, how can I say Parsha of Isser on someone who's not in the world? And Be'emes, Rabbi Akiva Eiger on Mishnayos in the first parak Osgim Osvav parak Aleph Osvav says the same thing. Rabbi Akiva Eiger himself says, he's bothered by the same, he brings Tosfos on Yud Zayin, and he says, don't tell me Tosfos is going l'shitasam for the same exact reason. And I quote the Hemshich Tosfos. The quote, Tosfos continues in that same line. Kigon she'yishachem archem arsur lazeh shemesa ishto kidamar beperik dalarachem kol yevama she'enan nikori ba b'shas tefila yevama yevo aleo harahi ke'eshes al she'esh lo banim ve'asura. Why, says Tosfos? De'ein ze darchei noam im yesh lo lehizdakek lozeh sheniftero heimenu. Rabbi Akiva Eiger says, and Moshe says the same point. Tosfos over there in Daf Beis is only saying I can say Parsha of Petur im yesh lo lehizdakek lozeh sheniftero heimenu. But when the brother wasn't in the world, I can't say a Parsha of Isser. That's our Moshe's dichu. Without quoting Rabbi Akiva Eiger, he says Ve'ein lomar. And Be'emes, it's a steer between Rabbi Akiva Eiger. Rabbi Akiva Eiger on the Daf on Yud Zayin says Tosfos is going l'shitasa, and Rabbi Akiva Eiger on the Mishnayos and Parak Aleph says, don't tell me Tosfos is going l'shitasa because there's a chiluk like Rav Moshe states. So, Imkain, what exactly is the pesher, the reconciliation between the steers? The steer between Rabbi Akiva Eiger, and again, why doesn't Tosfos feel that that's an adequate answer? Continues Rav Moshe. So why doesn't Tosfos want to give that answer? Answers Rav Moshe. Tosfos understands that Darchei Noam is not the siba to say Nesra, but rather it's a siman. Klomar, that even when I don't have the reason of Darchei Noam, even when I don't have a Darchei Noam, even though when Darchei Noam is not Shayach, why? Again, because there's a Shimon in the world who was Be'olam, who she was still Zakuk to, and therefore she didn't have a heter to marry Adam min Ashuk. So therefore, even without that, I will still say Nesra. And Be'emes, this tzad that Rav Moshe takes as a davar pashut is a chakir and Rav Chana declares. What exactly is the reason behind Nesra? Is it like Rav Moshe just stated that Darchei Noam is the similar? Is it a siba l'davar that without Darchei Noam I can't say Nesra? It's a siba, or no, it's a siman, and that even without Darchei Noam I can still say Nesra. Says Rav Chana, and therefore, according to what we just said, now we can understand the machlokas between the Tosfos and the Rishonim, and also the seer between Rabbi Akiva Eiger. Tosfos understands, like we said before, that Darchei Noam is merely a siman, and therefore even without Darchei Noam I can still say Nesra. Therefore says Tosfos, that answer of where there's another brother in the world, aka Shimon, she would not be, even though she is Zakuk to him, but still I can say a Parsha of Isser Klapei Levi, because it's only a siman. Mashenkin, the other Rishonim will understand, no, it's a siba. And therefore, if I'm lacking darchei noam, I can no longer say Nesr. Therefore, in the case of Eishes Ach Shelo Haya Be'olamo, I'm lacking darchei noam. Why? Because she never had a heter to marry Adam min Ashuk. Why? Because there was a Shimon who she was still zakuk to. As Mamela say the Rishonim, in that case, I need a pasuk of Kiyeshu Achim Yachtov to tell me Afal became Eishes Ach Shelo Haya Be'olamo is still going to be asur. Well, what should we do? The Gemara in Daf Lamed says Beferush that darchei noam, that Nesra is merely a siman, and that even in a case of lo idchi or mehai beisel legamre, even when she's not being docha, she's not nidcha from the house entirely, meaning our case where there's three brothers, Eishes Ach Shelo Be'olamo, where there's a shimon who is in the world, even there I'll say Nesra. So it makes it kind of difficult to understand how darchei noam could be the siba. Rav Chanan declares in the tzad that darchei noam is a siman, so maybe we can understand it a different way. Pashtus, the way we understood before, that darchei noam is the siman, that I should say Nesra. The understanding is that darchei noam, and the lashon of Rav Chanan is that it's a raya vehochacha to kol dinei zika tzrichin lacho b'shas misa, meaning that anything darchei noam just merely tells me not that I need darchei noam as a siba. Again, we're in the tzad of siman, but that darchei noam tells me that any dinei zika or yibum, anything shaykh to yibum, has to be chal b'shas nefila, and if it's not chal b'shas nefila, it can never be chal afterwards. And therefore, we understood. Tosfos says it's a siman. So therefore, since Levi wasn't around at the time when she fell for yibum, therefore we understood. So she can never afterwards be zokuk to Levi. But says Rav Chanan, maybe we can understand it a different way. Maybe be'emes, no, zika can be chal la'achar nefila. And so therefore, why would you ask, if Zika can be chal la'achar nefila, why should I ever say Parsha Nesra? Meaning, just because there wasn't a Zika b'shas nefila, but I can have a Zika afterwards. So why does it matter that I didn't have a Zika b'shas nefila? Why should I ever say Nesra? Says Rav Chanan, we can understand that the Zika, that the original Patur, Isser, Nesra, whatever din I'll say, that I had b'shas nefila, so that Isser is always poel with us at every moment in time. Meaning that even though b'shas nefila I didn't have a zika, and afterwards I did have a zika, but that p'tura, that isser which I had, which would have knocked off the zika had it been there b'shas nefila, so that isser is always with us, and therefore even if it encounters a zika afterwards, it's able to answer that, it's able to bidocha that zika just as well. As mamela, so now we can get around saying that darchei noam is a siba, and now we have a new chakira within the tzad that darchei noam is a simin. Two ways to understand. Either number one, it's a siman, meaning that darchei noam tells me that kol dinei zika need to be chal b'shas nefila, need to be chal b'shas misa, and it can't be chal afterwards. Well, then no, really it can be chal afterwards, but the original patur that I had b'shas nefila is going to pater any zika which encounters afterwards. As mamela, now we have a new understanding in the machlokas between the Rishonim and Tosfos. Again, Tosfos is going to be like the same side we had before. That the reason why he doesn't want to give this answer where there is a second brother, where there's a third brother, the case of the Mishnah, of Reuven, Shimon, Levi, of Shimon being Be'olama, is because he holds as a Simon. And therefore, since Levi wasn't there b'shas nefila, meaning there wasn't a zika to Levi b'shas nefila, the zika cannot be chal afterwards. And that's why Tosfos says, okay, that's not going to be a good answer. Ma'ashenkin, the other Rishonim hold, no, even though the zika wasn't chal b'shas nefila, but it still can be chal after nefila. Also, you're going to tell me, but the whole svar of that son is that original patur that I had will always be chal. Say the Rishonim, yes. But in our case, again, going back to the svar of Moshe, he wasn't around in the world to say I had an original isser. He wasn't around in the world. Levi wasn't around to say that patur that I had b'shas nefila should still be with us. He wasn't around. Therefore, even though you're right, b'shas nefila, Levi wasn't there, and therefore there wasn't a zika then. But when Levi's born, so then I should have a new zika afterwards, and I can't say let's use an original patur. I didn't have one. Therefore, say the Rishonim, yes, in this kind of a scenario, it wouldn't be a violation of darchei noam. As mamela, say the Rishonim, in this case I need a pasuk because I can have a zika chal afterwards. It wouldn't be a violation of darchei noam again because there's still a shimon in the world. Therefore, I need a pasuk of keish v'achim yachtov. In summary, up until where we are now, so Tosfos is understanding that darchei noam is a siman, that everything needs to be chal b'shas misa, and therefore if it's not chal b'shas misa, it can't be chal afterwards. The Tosfos then goes on and answers that where do I need a pasuk? What's Tosfos' answer? Chamosa meuberes. That she has to wait anyways. She has to wait anyways. Rabbi Akiva Eiger in 3 different places asks on Tosfos' answer. I don't understand. In the case of Chamosa meuberes, we have mechza nekevos, we have mechza zecharim, and we have miut mapilos, miut of miscarriages. So why don't we combine the miut of miscarriages with the mechza nekevos? And therefore, bistama, the kid who's going to be born will not be someone who she will fall to. It will not be a male. And therefore, she should be mutter to marry now. Why does Tosfos say in the case of Chamusim Uberes, she has to wait anyways? Maybe it'll be a boy. We should paskin based on Rov. A Rov tells me that right now it's not going to be it's not going to be a man. Asks Rav Shlomo Hyman on Rabbi Akiva Eiger's question. I don't understand. You're right that right now we have a Rov telling me that we should allow her to go marry Adam Min Ashuk. Why? Because bistama, it's not going to be a man. But after the kid is born and it comes out that it was a man, so limafreya, that should tell us that heter that we gave her to marry Adam Min Ashuk was betos. It wasn't an okay heter. It wasn't a heter which was meant to be. Answers of Shlomo Hyman. No, but Rabbi Akiva Eiger's understanding that any dinei zika have to be chal b'shas misa. So that should sound familiar. That's what we said. The tzad of Nesra was that it's a siman. That Archinom is a siman. That if I don't have zika being chal b'shas misa, so it can't be chal afterwards. Therefore, ask Rabbi Akiva Eiger Hasi Shapir. It comes out very good. Rabbi Akiva Eiger is asking, at this point in time, you're right. Granted, there might be a kid born in the future who might be a male who she will be zakuk to. But right now, there's no kid. Right now, there's no zika. Says Rabbi Akiva Eiger, okay, so why don't we let her marry Adam Min Ashuk right now? And in conclusion, now we have a stira in our understanding of Tosfos. Tosfos in his question, in order to not answer like the other Rishonim, who's held that the Zika can be chal, the other Rishonim held Zika can be chal afterwards. And therefore they said, Levi's born afterwards, Zika can be chal. So Tosfos, no. Even though Levi's born afterwards, it doesn't matter. Zika can only be chal b'shas misa. That's what Tosfos said in the answer. Zika can only be chal b'shas misa. But in Tosfos' answer, he comes on to say that really bemes sounds like from Tosfos, Zika can be chal after misa, chamoso muberes. That even when the kid's born way after, and that's when the Zika is chal, says Tosfos. Okay, so she has to wait for that potential Zika to be chal. So in the question of Tosfos, he understood that the Zika can only be chal b'shas misa, and in the answer of Tosfos, he's understanding that the Zika can actually be chal la'achar misa. Shkoch.